Hey, what's up, YouTube? Um, I'm kind of making these YouTube videos extremely trigger happy. Um, I'm saying trigger happy. This is the second one. But, so as I was kind of on the topic of, talking about an embarrassing story about when I was like in E-boy, um, directly after that, um, I decided to be, I decided to become a weeb, a weeaboo. Um, Is that a derogatory term? I don't think it is. If it is, I apologize. I don't think it is though, because a weeaboo is just someone who thinks that. Let me look it up. Weeaboo. Yeah. A weeaboo is a person who retains an unhealthy obsession with Japan and Japanese culture. Uh, but really, for me, it was just I was kind of it was an unhealthy obsession with Asian culture in general. It wasn't just Japanese. So, and again, this was in seventh grade. Oh my goodness. I don't know how my mom really didn't. Well, no, this one was from like seventh grade, but it kind of carried along until like the beginning of 11th. So, was that seventh, ninth, 10th grade? 3 years. Specifically, actually, ninth and 10th grade. So, um, my last video was talking about how I cheated on four girls in Minecraft. How I cheated on four girls in Minecraft. That is completely real. Uh, oh my goodness. Oh, that's bad. That's very bad. So I cheated on four girls in Minecraft. Uh, I do not consider those real relationships at all. Um, but I directly afterwards. So after I kind of got off my like Minecraft phase, because after I kind of like left Minecraft, I left for like a little bit. Because I left, I met up with the girl in real life in middle school, and then I was like obsessed. I wasn't obsessed with her, but to a point I was, I guess. Um, I was obsessed with her, but then I left that school district entirely, and then I went to online school. So the ending of seventh grade was me in that trimester. I was in that trimester, and she was in like two of my classes, right? So given that this girl was Vietnamese, I didn't know then, so I just considered her Asian, which is still correct because Vietnamese is Asian. Um, so I think I thought she was Japanese though. At first, I'm not too sure. This was what 5 years ago. What am I supposed to remember? Um, so yeah, I really did like this girl. Um, and I, but it was too late for me to, try to progress things because when I tried shooting my shot, it was like June, right? It was like literally the last 2 weeks of school. So she found her group of friends to stay in. And I was already in mine, but I was trying to progress things further with this girl. It didn't happen. So after seventh grade, I kind of off the cuff decided to do online school, right? And so ninth and 10th grade, to try to cope with me moving away from this Asian woman, uh, I don't think it was intentional, or I don't think what's the word? I don't think like I was intentionally like making my brain work this way, but I was kind of like, what's the word? Like when your brain just kind of does something. I'm speaking to a camera. They're not gonna answer, Jaden. But it's the word when your brain kind of like moves in a certain direction without you knowing. It's kind of what's the word? It's not. It's so annoying. I hate when I forget words because I'm in front of a camera. Um, but like I was moving in this certain direction because uh, I left this girl that I was super interested in, right? And she happened to be Asian. So little did I know, and we just bought Hulu at the time. So, or my sister did, and I was just mooching off of her. So I still kind of am. I feel bad about it now. I should probably buy her something. I should have bought something for her birthday. I might buy her something like this week actually. Now that I think about it, because I'm about to sell my my Switch for like $300. Yeah, I'll definitely buy her something because I feel bad about it now. Okay, but regardless, and this was not that. I actually Oh, I wish I could cut that out, but I don't know how to edit stuff because I probably just shouldn't have said that out loud. Disregard that entire just me saying that stuff. But so I was into this Asian woman. I left her entirely. I moved on to online school. Then my brain kind of, you know, just starts moving in this anime direction, right? I started to watch a lot more anime where there's a lot more Asian women in that anime. Well, a lot more Asian men too. It was just anime is just full of Asian people, right? So I started doing things in a lot more uh, like Asian culture way type thing, right? Without me knowing, really, because I was just like, oh, okay. So I think the first anime that I ever got into was called Death Note. That's a really good anime. That is like, I think that is like one of the general best animes of all time, though. People actually say that. That was the first anime I ever got into because I, just popped on Netflix one day at online school and I was like, okay, this is recommended for me. So I watched it and it was actually it's incredibly good. I might actually rewatch that sometime during winter break. But great anime, cool characters, cool, really good plot, really really good plot. Animes really like genuinely actually have really good plots to them. I just don't like how it's so filler and there's just a lot of words. Also, and it's in a completely different language. If you watch it genuinely, if you watch the dub version, it just has American voice lines over it. But if you watch it, with subtitles, you'll actually hear the Asian language that is being spoken. So it's a lot more genuine, right? So I was watching Death Note, um, and there happened to be women in that show that looked like the girl that I was interested in middle school. So I was like, wow, is this what all anime is like? So I didn't outright say that, but I was kind of thinking about that. So I started to watch a lot more anime. There's a lot more Asian women in those animes. Um, to an extent, I used to watch a lot more anime to an extent where my mother genuinely thought I had like a what's the word? I had a preference towards Asian women. And to be honest, so the thing is, I didn't have a preference toward Asian women. It's more so that they looked like the girl that I was interested in. So I was kind of just like, okay, well, I can just use that as like filler for that girl. I didn't really have a preference for Asian women because, all women, not all women are equal, but all women, are women. Um, if you're cool, I don't care what race you are. Although I'll be completely honest, you know, I've lived in environments where it's like almost all white women, right? So it's like, if anything, I'm not on the bandwagon of like all white women are bad, but it's like at the same time, it's like if I could find someone that isn't white, that'd be great, right? I feel bad saying that. I should probably look. All women are cool. It's just you know, you know, but that's just my opinion. It's not a preference towards all races but white women. It's just I've only lived with white women for like the last decade of my life, right? Like show me something else, right? Okay, that's bad. But on to the embarrassing parts of the story. So I used to watch a lot more anime, with a lot more Asian women, and I was like, okay, well, if they all look like her, then I could just use this as filler. So, during my time in online school, I didn't really have, friends to talk to because they were all, we never saw each other face to face. And the crazy thing about online school is that you can kind of put on a facade of yourself because you're never going to show up face to face with anyone. So who you show to the general public on camera can be whoever you want to be. But a lot of the people in the online school are kind of like, they were very standoffish. They were extremely standoffish. Um, and I kind of became that way. Like I was legitimately like antisocial. Like after 10th grade, and I came back to the brick and mortar. It took some time to learn how to like reconnect with others. Like it was so weird. It was extremely weird. But don't worry, I'm back. I'm completely fine now. It was just it took like a couple days, maybe even a full week to learn how to like actually like speak to humans other than my mother. All right. Um, so I used to watch a lot of anime. I started listening to a lot more anime music, or not anime music, but like Asian culture music. I don't necessarily think it was Asian cultured because it's like this music called. Because I even still have a lot of it on my phone. Because honestly, it's not bad. Like it's actually not bad at all. Um, it's called like Japanese city pop music. It's really not bad at all. It's like what it's like what you would hear at like what kind of festival? What would you hear this at? It sounds like what you would hear at like a hair salon, but it's all Japanese lyrics. Because I'm gonna be honest, hair salon music isn't bad. I kind of like hair salon music, but it kind of seems feminine to an extent, and I'm not trying to be overly feminine, but I'm also not trying to be overly masculine either, right? Um, so it's kind of like it's my it's a little hidden joy of mine, listening to like Japanese city pop music. Um, um, that's not what I'm here to talk about. That's not the embarrassing part because like I said, I actually like that music. The extremely embarrassing part is that during my time in online school, I used to play this game Overwatch. I was really good at it. Then I started to watch the esports. They used to actually stream professional matches of like actual like people playing the game. And I used to watch from the North American side of it. Where a lot of Americans used to play it. Uh, sorry, my alarm went off. Um, a lot of North American players played it. Even people from like Canada and such, they play it. Is Yeah, Canada's North American. Oh my, I sound so dumb. Um, you know, I think there was a little bit of Mexican players. I don't remember their names. That's besides the point. So North America was considered a bad region for like professional Overwatch, and all of the good players were in Korea. And Korea is actually like a really good region for just all esports in general. I don't know why that is, but that's just how it is. Like a lot of Eastern Asian countries are like super good at professional internet gaming. I don't know why that's the case, but that's the case. So to be more like the Eastern Asian players, I decided to try to learn Korean. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. Because when I go back to because by the way, in 10th grade, I already decided to go back to the brick and mortar because I was like, like I said, I was in a depressive, state of mind. So I was like, when I go back to the brick and mortar, I can talk with this girl again, which was very, very stupid because she was not Korean. Um, and also it was just she spoke English at school. It's not like I'm just gonna speak Korean and then she was gonna, speak Vietnamese back to me. Um, she would speak English, because she spoke English at school. So that was very stupid of me to assume. Stupid and ignorant, borderline racist, if not racist. So I was very dumb. But anyways, I decided to learn Korean from this app called it's the Green Owl app. What is that called? Edmodo? No, Duolingo. That's what it was. So I tried Duolingo out for a little bit. I did learn not a decent amount of Korean, but it was enough to like say like, "Hi, my name is whatever it is." Um, so I learned that much, and then I gave up on it because I was like, okay, well, I actually just don't care that much. But the fact that I went to extent to speak to this girl who didn't care about me, you know, like I kind of added it all up. Like I watched anime, I legitimately started to listen to like a lot of Asian music, um, and then I tried to speak Asian languages. Like I did all these things like unbeknownst to me. Like I legitimately tried to do these things, just for the sole purpose of trying to win back this girl. Um, it didn't work out anyways. Um, but yeah, I think that was also a very embarrassing story of me when I like kind of tried to become a legitimate weeaboo. I tried to become a weeaboo. It didn't work. I was a failed weeaboo, and the act of becoming one isn't good either. Like people that try to denounce their own culture to become something Japanese, like to become one of Japanese, like to become in tune with Japanese culture, it just seems kind of weird, right? Like because that's the whole point of it. That's the whole point of becoming a weeaboo. Like that's an actual term, by the way. It's not like slang or anything. That's an actual thing. Um, People that like try to throw away their own culture to be one with Japanese culture, right? Um, but I didn't just try to do Japanese culture. I tried to do a lot of other Eastern Asian countries culture, which still didn't work out well. Um, so I ended up coming back to school in 11th grade, uh, and I met back up with some of my friends. Some of my friends were Asian, and actually both my friends that were Asian, well, actually no, one was Chinese, one was Korean. So I ended up saying something in Korean, just something I remembered. I remembered how to say it, but I forgot what the words were. So I ended up saying something to him, and apparently he got offended. He never told me what the actual phrase was, but he got offended. And then I remember at his birthday party, he kind of like he didn't shun me off, but he definitely gave me like the bottom of the barrel type stuff, and I felt bad. But I don't know what I said. I actually like even to this day I don't know what I said. Um, but yeah, because it's not like I learned any swear words or anything. I don't know. They wouldn't teach that in Duolingo. But regardless, so I tried to become a weeaboo. That didn't work. Um, I ended up just looking really stupid. Um, so that's that. And isn't it interesting how every time, like not every time, but a lot of the times when there's a story involving me and a girl, it doesn't end up well. But you know, when I'm just worried about myself, the stories kind of are good. And that's not a coincidence. I genuinely think my life has gone better when I'm not worried about a girl. You know, um, just you gotta respect yourself and then respect the world around you. Self care is really a thing. But this video is not about that. I just think that's something to keep in mind. Um, and there goes my second embarrassing story for the day. Because I got some homework to finish, so I gotta stop procrastinating and get this stuff done. So that was it. Don't become a weeaboo because it just doesn't look good on your end or to the people around you. Please don't do that. Uh, don't learn Korean if you're just not gonna take it serious. You gotta, because you can end up doing what I did and just say something and it ends up being offensive. Um, yeah. So do not do that. Um, well, don't learn any language for that purpose if you're not gonna care about it like that. So that's really all I got for today. Wow, this video is actually shorter than 20 minutes. This might be a decent video. Okay. So yeah, I'll just keep it at that. And to the rest of you guys that watch this, have a good day. All right, peace.